Hi there, you're listening to Amrita from BizAsia, and we thought we'd bring you a review with a difference of Shreya Ghoshal at the Royal Albert Hall yesterday, which was the 25th of May 2014. My colleague Sanoobar will be part of this review, and we're going to do a slight comparison of last year's Royal Albert Hall concert and this year's Royal Albert Hall concert, but give you more of an idea of what happened last night and how Shreya wowed her audiences. So introducing Sanoobar, who you've probably heard before. Hi Sanoobar.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. So tell us about a little bit about the atmosphere and the concert yesterday at the Royal Albert Hall.
I think it was absolutely amazing. It was quite thrilling, actually. It's amazing how devoted Shreya actually is to the audience. Like, she literally said at the beginning of the concert that she'd have the audience holding on to her every note, and that was perfectly true. She pretty much took the audience through a journey throughout all of her music. She started off singing all her charts of things like Radha Student of the Year, Teri Yor, Teri Meri Prem Kahani, Tere Diye, Sun Raha Hai Tu. She sang all the big numbers, but then she also did quite a few tributes as well. So she also did things like she did tribute to the Crates with Kishore Kumar and Mohammed Rafi, and she also sang some ghazals as well by Jagjit Singh.
Oh, that's brilliant. So I would assume that her ghazals were from her album Hum Machine, which happened in the last year between the two concerts. But I've got to say, from last year, the atmosphere in the Royal Albert Hall, it was absolutely packed. It was a complete sellout of an audience. There were actually people standing at the top with the standing seats, really, really far away they seemed. And I felt as if she was very interactive with her audience. How was it like? What was it like yesterday?
Exactly the same. It was complete sellout. I mean, the audience were literally raving throughout the entire concert. All her songs, when she asked the audience to sing along, everyone was singing along with full of gusto. And it just, she was kind of intent to say that, she wanted the audience to kind of feel the music with her, and that literally became true. Everyone was singing along, and whenever she pointed the audience to her microphone and to the audience, everyone was just jumping on every word.
That does actually remind me of last year when she pointed the microphone, as you say, to the audience last year. She was quite impressed that everyone was so in tune. It was quite funny. So it was, I mean, I think you mentioned to me before we started recording that the singer that was accompanying her was Rishikesh Ranade, who was exactly the same singer that accompanied her last year. And I think he really lived up to her, if you see what I mean. I see her as a complete powerhouse entertainer. I mean, what do you reckon?
I think he compliments her very, very well. Her voice is absolutely amazing. She sings like a nightingale, and to have someone like Rishikesh, singing alongside with her, it does work incredibly well. And for every song that they did as a duet, it was phenomenal. So I think he definitely did work well with her.
Okay, so tell me about some of the highlights of the concert last night.
One of the most amazing things that she did that literally kind of brought the audience into a complete, everyone was completely in awe of her, was when she did tribute to the audience. She sang Tujh Mein Rab Dikhta Hai, the female version, to the audience, and it literally brought the audience to tears. I mean, everyone was just sitting there, everyone was swaying along with the music. And, for that moment, you genuinely felt like you were part of something that was absolutely huge. I think it just shows the mass appeal of her music, and it just shows how amazing she is as a performer.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you. She sang the song last year, and in a little bit of a contrast, last year's Royal Albert Hall concert that I was at, she sang that as a tribute to her parents, Tujh Mein Rab Dikhta Hai from Ravne Banadi Jodi, as I'm sure most of the audience know it. It was a truly magical moment, I think, and I completely understand where you're coming from. It was kind of like time stood still, if you like, in that performance.
Yeah.
I was going to say that also what she did last year, which I think she mentioned she might have done a bit of this year, was last year was obviously 100 years, where basically Bollywood turned 100. So what Shreya had done last year with, of course, Rishikesh, she gave a bit of a snippet, a medley, if you like, of old school songs, and then came newer and newer and started singing some of her newer, well-known songs. But one thing she didn't do, which I was waiting for the whole night, was she didn't sing Sun Raha Hai Tu. And I was so heartbroken that I couldn't go this time because I knew she would sing it after winning so many awards. So yeah, tell us about the tributes, those kind of tributes that she did.
She did do exactly the same this year. She did do tributes to the greats, and I think it was quite hilarious because she kind of apologised for singing them in the first place because she felt like she didn't match up to them. So it just shows how humble she is as a performer, really. But she did do tributes to people like Kishore Kumar and to Mohammed Rafi. And unfortunately, sorry to disappoint you, Amrita, but she did sing to Nahahidu. It was one of her opening numbers, and it was absolutely beautifully sung by her. It really, really was. And you know, as a song, I think if the way you hear it, kind of just listening to it via the TV or whatever, that sound just isn't conveyed in the same way as her singing it in person. It's absolutely spine-tingling the way she just sings that, and it was just absolutely beautiful.
Oh, I'm really, really gutted that I missed that. I've got to say that this concert, this tour, this UK and Europe tour that Shreya Ghoshal is doing, May 2014, it's presented by Rock On Music, and I feel like I should have a request. You know, I need to pray that Rock On Music brings Shreya Ghoshal back next year so I can hear her sing Sanoobar live. I need to do this. So I'm going to pray that they do, and it's a bit of a request to anyone listening that is part of Rock On Music, please bring her back again. I don't think London can get enough of her. Okay, to finish off, Sanoobar, give us your favourite moment of last night at the Royal Albert Hall.
My favourite moment was Shreya actually singing the Garakan Dor from Ram Leela. Absolutely magical. I mean, she had people dancing in the seats, and we had one of the box seats, and people in my box were just literally up on their feet, and everyone was just dancing away with her song. It was so amazing to the fact that people actually asked for an encore, and she gave them an encore as well. Absolutely amazing. It sounded absolutely brilliant.
I think that's one of the songs that was kind of in the middle of the year, so I wouldn't have called that one, but I can completely imagine she must have been amazing singing that live. I think my favourite moment, if I go back a year, very difficult to choose one, but I think it's probably her performance of Lag Ja Gale, the gold mouldy Lag Ja Gale, in Shreya Ghoshal's voice was just, you know, I feel the goosebumps even thinking about it. She was amazing in that song, and I was really gutted that I couldn't actually video it, but again, Rock On Music, please do it again, and make her sing that song for me. I know they're never going to listen, but I have to say it. Okay, Sanoobar, just to round it off for us, and tell us, just kind of, how would you conclude last night?
Absolutely magical. That's the only word I can think of it. I mean, she brings together two generations of audiences, and it's very rare for a performer to do that. To have someone, you know, who's really young in the audience, who's someone who's so much older, you know, tying both those audiences together in that kind of way is absolutely amazing.
That's great.
I mean, I hope that everyone's kind of enjoyed their review of Shreya Ghoshal performing at the Royal Albert Hall. We've absolutely loved it both times, and we hope to go back there again. This is Sanoobar and Amrita from BizAsia signing off.
Bye.
Bye.